Hello guys, Robert1 here, and today I am doing the Future of Yu-Gi-Oh segment on my channel. And this segment is where I talk about archetype cards and cards that are already out or going to be out, on which I think are going to be really good in the meta, and which I think can be really brilliant and just do so much in the meta. So, the deck I'm going to be talking about today, it's got resemblance to a certain TV show of that everybody knows when you're a kid. It is Super Quantums. Now, the Super Quantum archetype is an interesting archetype because it's like an Xyzed power-based deck. So, it's got special summoning, it's got search ability, it's got recyclability, it's got Xyz summoning like hell. It's an Xyz based deck. It's got great cards. It so far has 10 cards in the archetype. So I want to see what you guys think of this archetype. I'm going to be giving my own opinions on the cards and what I think is going to be good in the deck, and if I think it's going to be amazing in this in the future of the meta. So let's start off with the weakest of them, Super Quantum Fairy Alphen, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Now, this is a level 1 light fairy effect monster. Its effect is, once per turn you can target one Super Quantum monster you control. All face-up monsters you currently control become that target's current level. Now, that effect, in my opinion, it's okay. It's not that great. You would probably use it with, say, red to make something else, and it's not really a great card. That effect is really not that great in my opinion. When I've tested this deck, and I have been testing it recently, there would have been dual videos, but for some reason Dev Pro decided to put error codes on them whenever I tried to summon the biggest monster, so I couldn't show you those videos. But yeah, so the first effect is, it's not that great, so I'm gonna have to say that effect of it is bad. But there's another effect it has, which is, you contribute this card, reveal 3 Super Quantum monsters with different names from your deck. Have your opponent randomly special summon one of them to your side of the field. Also, send the rest to the graveyard. You can only use this effect of Super Quantum Fairy Alpha once per turn. Now, that effect is really good in my opinion, because this effect allows you to actually make your deck fill out. The deck has the ability to special summon its monsters. It can special summon them from deck now as well. Plus, with the other monsters in the deck, it really syncs. Plus, all the monsters have an effect that happens in grave, which is very good as well. So, it's very good. So, I would say that effect's the best because it also allows you to special summon. And also with the 3 other monsters in the deck, then it kind of syncs. Also, seeing as you want to be able to special summon all of their different Xyz monsters to do the best combo in the deck, you're going to want to have this card regardless. So that effect's definitely a good effect in my opinion, and I would say this card is going to be run at 3 in the deck regardless, if people do play it. So, this card in general, I would say its first effect isn't that great, but altogether, with its other effect, it's a really good card. So, yeah. That is Super Quantum Fairy Alphen, the first card in the archetype I'll talk about. So let's talk about the second card, which is Super Quantum Mecha Pilot Blue Layer. Now, this card is a level 3 water monster, psychic effect with 1200 attack, 2000 defense. Its effect is, when this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Super Quantum card from your deck to your hand, except Super Quantum Mecha Pilot Blue Layer. Now, that effect is actually really good because you can siphon out your deck, get cards you need, because all the cards in the deck actually have Super Quantum in their name. You can then add either Fairy maybe if you special summoned it. Also, because it's a psychic, you can special summon it off E-Telly. E-Telly effect searches, you can search the Alpha Fairy. Normal summon the Alpha Fairy. Alpha Fairy effect, tribute, special summon one of your many monsters in grave from deck. And also you can, if the other monsters go to grave, so you can also use their effects in grave to get more things done. So that effect is really good, being able to search. So the search effect is good, I give that a good effect. So, and the next effect is, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target up to 3 Super Quantum cards in your graveyard. So I'm guessing that would include itself as one of the targets if it was sent to graveyard. Shuffle them into the deck. You can only use each effect of Super Quantum Mecha Pilot Blue Layer once per turn. So you can use both effects of it. You can use both of its effects in the same turn, which is very good. Plus, you can recycle any of your Super Quantum monsters that are in the graveyard, which is very good. And it just says cards, so you could shuffle back the spells and the traps that are Super Quantum as well, which is very good in its own sense as well. So I would give this card an amazing thumbs up because it's really good. This card is probably going to be one of the best cards in the deck, purely because you've got your search and you've got your recycling ability. It's got best of 2 things. So this card is a great card in my opinion, and it's definitely going to be used at free, regardless of what anyone says. So next is Super Quantum Mecha Pilot Green Layer. Now this is a Wind level 4, 600 attack, 1400 defense monster. It's a spellcaster. Its effect is, when this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon 1 Super Quantum monster from your hand. Now it's a decent effect, but you don't really need it in the deck. I admit if you want to special summon like your blue layer from hand to use its effect to search, that can be really good, but it's kind of like Vega in a way, and also you can't use it for an XC summon because they're different levels and they don't sync. So it's a good effect in a way, but it's not a great effect. So next, its other effect is, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can discard 1 Super Quantum card, draw 1 card, you can draw 1 card. So, and it's got the same effect as blue, where it can use both of these effects in the same turn. So, yeah, I don't think this card is that great, because discarding a card to draw a card, and especially if it's a Super Quantum card that you've already used its effect this turn, it wouldn't be that great to use. So what's the point of the card if you're going to discard a card and then just draw a card? It's not really much of a point to it, so I have to give this card a bad. You have to use the card because there's not many Super Quantums right now, but it's not a good card in a sense because you don't really want to be discarding your Super Quantum cards when you want to use them next turn. So this card is not that great in my opinion. It's a bad card, and it's got 1 good effect with the special summon, but it's not really that good because he's the only level 4 in the deck, so you can't go generic rank 4 plays. So I have to give this card a bad. I don't think this card is good, and it's a bad card, in my opinion. I wouldn't... If you didn't have to discard a card, I would actually give it a thumbs up, but it's got that discard a card bit, so it's not that great. Now, next is Super Quantum Mecha Pilot Red Layer. Now, this is a Fire level 5 monster with Warrior effect, 2000 attack, 800 defense. So we've got a Warrior in the deck, that course, always, and we've got the Red Power Ranger, which every Power Ranger has. So its effect is, if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Oh, so that's already a plus side because you can special summon it straight from your hand if you control no monsters. So if you're going first, you can go instantly special summon Red Ranger and then get whatever effects it has. You can only use each of these effects of Super Quantum Mecha Pilot Red Layer once per turn. So you can only use one of its effects per turn, like all the rest. Or each of its effects once per turn. It's got 2 effects and they're labeled out. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can target 1 Super Quantum card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Oh, that's really good actually, because you can add back Fairy if you special summoned it first turn. If you special summoned it, then use normal summon Fairy effect, special summon for anyone from deck, and then get effects off. So that's actually really good. I like that effect. And also you can add back Blue Ranger or even Green Ranger if you feel pleased to. And it doesn't say you can't add back itself, so you can add another Red Ranger to your hand. That's actually quite good. And its other effect is, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Super Quantum monster in your graveyard, except Super Quantum Layer Red, and special summon it, but its effects cannot be activated. That's a good effect as well. That's actually really good because you can special summon a blue in defense, you can special summon a green and for damage. You can do actually a lot of things with that. I like this card a lot. I think Red Rangers probably want to be the good card. This is a really good card. I give it a thumbs up, definitely. So yeah, this card is a really good card in my opinion. sure, you can't special summon itself, and it can't activate its effects, but you can then do more things because of the next card we're going to be talking about, which actually allows you to do more stuff, and it's actually a really good card. So, yeah, really good. So the next card we're going to be talking about is the spell card of the deck, and that is Super Quantum Mecha Ship Magna Carrier. So this is a spell card, a field spell card, and this is why I think red's going to be a really good card, because it can allow really good stuff with this. So its first ability is you can discard one card, then target one Super Quantum Mecha Pilot monster you control, special summon from your extra deck one Super Quantum Mecha Beast Xyz monster with the same attribute as that monster by using this card as an Xyz material. This special summon is treated as an Xyz summon. Now, it's a good effect. It is a good effect, but there's one thing that I don't like about it, is that you have to discard a card. If you paid say 500 or 800 life points, pay 100 base, the helmet, but if you paid life points instead to summon, then I would think it would be a lot better. But this effect does help the deck a lot, and it allows you to summon your big guys a lot easier. So I'll give it a good, but it's not that great because you have to discard. Okay, so next, you can send this card from your field zone to the graveyard, target 3 Super Quantum Mecha Beast Xyz monsters, different names, in your graveyard or you control. Special summon 1 Super Quantum Mecha Lord Great Magnus from your extra deck, and if you do, attach all those targets and the Xyz materials attached to them to the screen's not big enough. To the I hate when this happens. To them to summoned monster as Xyz materials. Wordings. So that's really good actually, because it allows you to bring out your boss monster with a lot of ease, and it actually tells you, and it actually makes sense because you're basically doing what Power Rangers do. All the Megazords combine to make the big one. So that's actually really good. So yeah, you can make, and also because you can target the ones in your graveyard as well. If you just activate this and you got 3 in your graveyard, you can send it straight to grave, special summon your biggest monster, and have a big beat stick on board. So you've got that's a really good effect. I have to say, the field spell is a really good card. So I have to give this a thumbs up, because that effect is really good. So special summoning your big monster, and it's mainly really good because you can use the monster in your graveyard as well. So yeah, thumbs up for me from that. And next for the final main deck card, which is Super Quantum Mega Sword Magna Slayer. So this is a trap card, and it is target 1 Super Quantum Xyz monster you control. Xyz monster. No, I don't like that. Equip this card to it. It gains 100 attack equal to its rank times 100. Also, if it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent during your... Okay, so basically its first effect is it equips to an Xyz monster you control, a Super Quantum Xyz monster. It gains 100 attack points per rank, which it's okay. Maybe if it was 300 per rank, it would be better. Also, if it attacks a defense position monster and inflicts piercing damage to your opponent, that's good. Piercing damage is always good, I have to admit. So it's not that great because it's a trap card. So if it was a spell card, then it would be actually really good, but it's a trap, so I don't actually like it. That effect is bad. No, thumbs down, thumbs down. I give it bad. But during your battle phase, you can send this equipped card to the graveyard. The monster this card was equipped to can make up to 3 attacks during the battle phase. No, I don't like that either, because 3 attacks is good, but the problem with it is it's still a trap card. And why would you want to give up your damage for attacks? Because you could be playing against a deck with big monsters. Plus, the highest I can see you getting out of this is maybe 500 attacks on the rank 5. Sure, if you can equip it to Magnus, the biggest monster in the deck, it would be good, but No, I don't like this card. I think this card is bad. Thumbs down, definitely. The free attacks is good, but it's not good in the sense that it's the trap, and you have to give up your additional attack boost for its effect, so I don't like it, no. Thumbs down. So the trap card is a bad card in my opinion completely, so let's move on to the Megazords, the extra cards. So we are going to be starting off with the water one, which is Super Quantum Mecha Beast Grapolsy? I think that's how you pronounce its name. And it's a Water Machine Xyz effect monster, 1800 attack, 28 defense. So you've got a big butt, just like the Blue Ranger. And it takes 2 level 3 monsters to make. And its effect is, cannot attack while it has no Xyz materials. That's... no Xyz materials is okay, I guess, if it can't attack, but I'm guessing this card would mainly be in defense, so it doesn't really matter. And once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target 1 spell/trap card on the field, destroy it. And that's good. So you've got essentially an ala card that doesn't need to hit face downs to use this effect. That's good. If this card has Super Quantum Mecha Blue Pilot Layer Blue as an Xyz material, this card can be activated during either player's turn. Oh, that's actually really good, because you can destroy spell and trap cards on your opponent's turn. So if they activate a field spell or something, you can just detach the Blue Ranger, pop that field spell, use the Blue Ranger effect to shuffle more cards from your graveyard into the deck, and that's actually decent. I like that effect. So far it's a good card so far. And its last effect is, once per turn you can attach 1 Super Quantum Mecha Pilot monster from your hand or field to this card as an Xyz material. I think that is a decent effect, but I wish it was from graveyard instead, because it would be a lot better, because then you could recycle your grave more. And I understand you recycle your grave as it is, but you've got the Blue Ranger shuffling cards into deck, so you wouldn't really always have a grave. So I wish that card was kind of... I wish it was from grave, but I think that's a decent effect, seeing as you can recycle its Xyz materials. So yeah, I have to give this card a thumbs up, because it's just got it's got a good effect to pop spells and trap cards. It can pop during either player's turn if it has the Blue Ranger on it. And it's just a decent card because it can recycle its Xyz materials. So yeah, great card. So next is the green Megazord, which is Super Quantum Mecha Beast Ouroboros. It's a Wind Rank 4 Machine Xyz effect monster, 2200 attack, 2400 defense, 2 level 4 monsters. Cannot attack while it has no Xyz materials. Again, that effect. I like how it's a generic as well, so you can use it in any deck. So that's okay. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target one other face-up monster on the field, change it to face-down defense position. That's not actually that great in my opinion. It's not a good effect on the card. If it was something else, maybe compulse the monster to the hand, or shuffle it into deck, then I would like that effect, but just saying it doesn't seem decent enough. If it could actually change its to face down defense position or double attack, that would be really good on it. But I don't think this card's that great. So that's a bad effect in my opinion. Well, if it's got, I'm guessing it has the same effect as the other Megazord, so it could be good if you're using it in your opponent's turn, but I don't really like the effect, so I'm going to say that's bad. If this card has a Super Quantum Mecha Pilot green layer as an Xyz material, this card can activate its effect during either player's turn. Yep, it's got the same effect basically, so meaning it will probably have the other effect. So yeah, it can be decent, but I wouldn't say it's a good card. Once per turn, you can attach 1 Super Quantum Mecha Pilot monster from your hand or field to the... Yeah, it's got the same effects. So it looks like all the Megazords are going to be able to attach from hand or field. So, and also they can use the effects during either player's turn if they got the right monster under them. So, but in general, I don't think this card is a good card because it doesn't have a lot of attack. It's not got a great effect. Sure, you can use it during either player's turn and just set a monster, but it just disrupts them for a turn, and I don't see it as that great a card. So I'm gonna have to say this is a bad card, just like its Green Ranger counterpart. and I wouldn't say it's a good card at all. So next we're on to the Red Ranger's Megazord, and it is a Fire Rank 5, 2600 attack, 2000 defense, Machine Xyz effects monster. So it's 2 level 5 monsters, generic, cannot attack while it has no Xyz materials like the rest of them. I'm guessing that's because they can't control themselves without the rest of them. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, target 1 monster on the field, destroy it. If this card has a... Oh, wait, destroy it? That's actually quite good, because you can... And it's got the same effect as the others, where if it's got Red Ranger under it, then he can use it during either player's turn. Yeah, that's actually really good, because you can detach during your opponent's turn, and just destroy a monster. Plus, it's a big beat stick with 2600 attack, so it's actually got a lot of attack. I like this card so far, and it's got the same effect as you can attach a Super Quantum Mecha Pilot monster from your hand or side of the field to this card as an Xyz material. Yeah, that's a good card. I give this card a thumbs up off the bat right away, just because its effect to destroy monsters. You can disrupt plays very easily with that. I like that. Yeah, don't even have to talk about this card anymore. That's amazing. Okay, now for the big one, the big Megazord of them all, Super Quantum Mega Lord, Mecha Lord, Great Magnus. Now this is a light rank 12, the first rank 12 in the game. It is a Machine Xyz effect monster, 3600 attack, 3200 defense, big butt, big attack. And its effect, it takes 3 level 12 monsters to make. So, already big. This card, its effect is, this card gains effects based on the number of Xyz materials with different names attached to this card. So, this card has to have different names under it for different effects. Which is kind of cool, seeing as you're already going to be using Xyz materials on the monsters to make it, with the field spell. Its effects are... 2 or more, once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, shuffle 1 card on the field into the deck. Oh, that's really good. So you can just be like, oh, I'm going to shuffle your cards into the deck. That's actually really good. So it's got the effect that I wanted on the green Megazord. So that's a good effect. Next effect is 4 or more, unaffected by card effects except by the effects of Super Quantum cards. That's actually interesting because it wouldn't work in a mirror match. Because they could just be like, I like the effect. The effect is a thumbs up. But the fact that they can still be affected by Super Quantum cards is bad. Because if you're in a mirror match, then they can be like, I make red Megazord, use effect, pop your Great Magnus, meaning he's kind of pointless. So I want to see what else he has. Okay, so that effect is, it's a good card against every other deck, but that card... against a mirror match is probably not that great. Okay, the next effect is 5 or more materials. Your opponent cannot add cards from their deck to their hand except by drawing them. Oh, that's great. It's got a mistake effect. So you can just work great against Magi Spectres, Cosmos, all of that. That's really good. So, and the last effect it has, which doesn't need any materials. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 3 Super Quantum Mecha Beast Xyz monsters with different names from your graveyard. Now that's really good, because you can just repeat the cycle. Because if you've got no monsters on board, and they kill your Great Magnus, you just get 3 monsters instantly. You can summon the green, the red, and the blue back. So you've got a 24 butt, a 25 butt, and you've got a 26 attack. So that's really good. And also if you've got another field spell, you can just make another Great Magnus next turn. That's actually really good. So, guys, what I think of this archetype, it's going to be a good archetype to begin with. It's going to be probably using stuff like E-Tele, 1-for-1, all of that, just to siphon through its deck. I would think the deck needs a bit more support, maybe the yellow and the blue, well, maybe the yellow, black, or maybe white or Ranger. And it's got a lot of great cards in it so far. I think it's really good. So guys, please tell me what you think of this archetype. Sorry that this video has been a bit long. So it's a whole archetype and I've got to discuss the whole thing. And please tell me what you think of the archetype. Me, myself, I will try to get videos for you because Death Pro's been fucking me. But please like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Tell me what you think of this archetype. Tell me if you want to see dual videos of this archetype. And I will see you guys next time. Robert1 signing out, and thanks for watching.